Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Bусыгина Т and I'm teacher of English and IS Taldekurgan. Today I'm going to present you my lesson. We use it every day. It's a part of our life. It helps us to be active and mobile. What is it? Of course, transport. So the topic of our lesson is transport. Let's take a look at learning objectives. To understand speaker viewpoints and extent of agreement, both explicit and explicit, between speakers on a range of familiar and unfamiliar general and curricular topics. Deduce meaning from the context in unsupported extended talk on the range of familiar and familiar general and curricular topics, and use a variety of reported statements, comment and question forms of growing range of more general and curricular topics, and evaluate and comment on use of others in a growing variety of context on a range of familiar and unfamiliar general and curricular topics. So, learners will be able to, in this lesson, present the information, use appropriate subject-specific vocabulary and syntax, use physics terminology correctly to talk about a range of curricular topics, and listen to information about transport. Of course, ask and respond questions on transport, involve peers in discussion of the topic, and reflect on any feedback received on content and language. So, at first, learners answer the question, what is transport and what for do we use this transport? As warm-up activity, learners play a game, find someone who. The main objective of the game is to revise the learned vocabulary and practice using general and specific questions. Here you can see the chart of this activity here, and now we'll watch video on this activity. Good morning, students. As you know, this is the final lesson of our topic. What's our topic?
Our topic is about types of transport.
Okay, types of transport and transport. What kind of three main types of transport do you know in general? Sea transport, air transport, and land transport. Okay, thank you. Right now, look at the board, please.
The first one, understand speaker, viewpoints and extent of agreement, both implicit and explicit.
Okay, thank you. Stand up and come here next. So, your task is the following. I'll give you the cards. The card is called Find Someone Who. Take the card, please. Take the card, please. Yeah, circle. Your circle, yeah. Okay. You may take your pen with you or pencil, and walking around the group, walking around the class, you should find someone who comes to school by bus, walks to school, likes traveling by car, and so on. You may walk around the class and ask each other. And here, you should write the name of the student, okay? So, walk around the class and ask each other. Who comes to
usually come to school?
You may join everyone. You may ask everyone to join this.
Some by way is very exciting.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a trouble somewhere?
Okay, walk around. Okay, 1, 2,
Wait for a bus.
3, stop please, and take your places. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So, right now we'll make a short chart of your names, okay, for the question. And we'll find out the person who likes traveling a lot or uses all the types of transport. So, comes to school by bus. Dostan. Alright. Yarasıl. Who else?
Shazira.
Jazira. Such a voice. Okay, who else? Diana. Okay, and Rabia. Okay, thank you. So, the next one. Walks to school. Rados. Yarasıl. Nazım. Rados. Who else? Nazar. Nazar. Okay. Walkways? Okay, okay. Nazım. So, Nazar was right here, and this is it, right? Okay, who is the rarest person who uses the transport? What do you think? You asked everyone. Look at your chart. Look at your chart right here. Okay, who doesn't use transport at all? Why?
Because he lives.
He lives near the school.
Yes.
Okay. So the next activity. Learners work in two groups and match the words with the definitions. Here you can see the words and definitions. And also, then they swap and check other group answers with the help of this table chart. They do this exercise in order to revise the information. And right now, we'll take a look at this activity with students. Your task is the following. You should match these words with their definitions. So please divide it into groups. This row and this row. Nazar, could you sit right here? Nazar and Jazira. Okay. So match the words and their definitions. Match the words and their definitions. Please, you are given a minute to check out this one. It's just for your revision. All together.
Actually, between two things and the repeat the change. Between two things is double letter. No, we wish to do first. No, so read it. To move quickly. Alternate. To change between two.
Okay, this one is ready. So 1, 2, 3. Stop please. Stop please. Leave everything. Okay, right now. Swap. And let's check. So, look at the board. Here are your answers, the words, and the answers. Are they right? It's okay. Just check it. You should know all the definitions and the translations of this one. So, have you checked? Yes. Good. Have you checked? Yes. Okay, thank you. Could you sit back? So, the next one, learners answer the question, what are the main types of transport? The main types of transport are air transport, land transport, and sea transport. And the ground can be possible answer. In these activities, learners were divided into 3 groups. They made a research and short presentation on the following topics: high-speed trains in the world and in Kazakhstan, supersonic planes, and metro system in Kazakhstan in Almaty. This activity was made in order to inform and generalize the information from the previous lesson. And right now, we'll watch video on this activity. What 3 main types of transport do you know? In general, sea transport, air transport, and land transport. Okay, thank you. So right now, as a home task, you will be given the task to prepare presentations of different types of transport. So, tell me please about developing transport in Kazakhstan? Developing transport in Kazakhstan. Train, okay. High-speed trains, underground, and
Planes.
cars, yes, and planes. What kind of trains? Transport planes or another one?
Yes, transport.
Transport. For transportation.
Yes.
Okay, so right now you're welcome with your presentations.
That's good.
Yeah, about high-speed trains, right? Let's start with you. You're welcome.
Good morning, dear students and teachers. Now we are going to present our presentation about high-speed trains of the world and also high-speed trains of Kazakhstan. Our group consists of three persons, Shakir Belasil, Jeksinbay Rabia, and Wahid Musa.
So high-speed trains is a type of rail transport that operates significantly faster than traditional trains. And the first such a system began operations in Japan in 1964, and it was widely known as high-speed trains.
This is a train of Japan. This high-speed train called Shinkansen, and it is the fastest high-speed train in the world.
Yeah, we will
Yes.
talk about it.
Annually, there are 151 million passengers who use this train, and until now there were about 10 billion travelers. If we talk about the speed of this train, usually it operates with 320 kilometers per hour, but the maximum speed is about 440 kilometers per hour.
Okay, thank you.
Let's talk about high-speed trains in Kazakhstan, and it's well known in Kazakhstan Temir Traffic, the national rail company of Kazakhstan, which is this train called Targo. And in Kazakhstan, this kind of high-speed trains consist of 27 carriages, and 22 of them for passengers and other carriages for technical uses.
Have you ever traveled by this train?
No, unfortunately, but yes, I'd like to travel by this train because most of the Kazakhstanis said that this Talgo is very comfortable and really fast.
Yes, also 37. We said that there are 37 carriages, and usually two of them has the status of business, grant, and the other carriages for usual people. And also, one advantage of Talgo is that there are some carriages for people with limited abilities.
So this diagram represents high-speed trains railway in our country.
Okay.
There are 7 high-speed trains railway in our country. It's a
They are connected
Yes,
with
connected.
each other.
And this highway-speed trains railways connects the major cities of Kazakhstan. And in future, there will be 3 kind of directions for high-speed trains.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you for your presentation. Okay,
Okay.
do we have
Yes.
one more slide?
Yes.
Okay.
This is one of the most railway in our country. It's connected to major cities.
You mean widely spread?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, widely spread.
Yes. It's Astana and Shymkent.
There.
There are
It connects these 2 cities, right?
yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Let's clap for the presentation. Okay, thank you. The next one about metro. Yeah, you're welcome.
Our group wants to present for you metro train in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, and as you know, we have only one train in Kazakhstan.
It's an underground metro. Underground metro is a type of high-capacity public transport generally found in urban areas.
Unfortunately, we have only one metro in Kazakhstan. It's in Almaty. The main reason of this location is that Almaty is the biggest city of Kazakhstan, and there is the most population.
The most populated city.
Yes.
Okay.
And this metro was opened in 1st December of 2011.
What we use this metro for the reason of transportation, and also about if we will talk about equipment for if we talk about equipment for metro. As you know, metro was started building in 1988. Because of them, Kazakhstan did contracts with a lot of other countries, and also one of them who help more is Australian and Canadian people. They invest for our country for that metro about 690.
Helping with the building of this.
Yes, they give new equipment and invest about $697 million.
Okay, thank you.
That's all.
Okay, thank you for your question. The next group, you're welcome. With planes, right?
So our topic is supersonic plane, and our group consists of 3 people: Khadirkov Shandoz, Tolubayeva Aray, and me, Orazbek Vadiana.
Plane is air transportation vehicle that has 2 wings and from 2 or more jets that is used to move the plane. From this there arises question why supersonic planes are called so.
Why they're different?
Because supersonic planes are faster than the speed of sound. They fly faster. If we talk about structure, this structure is unusual. As you see, here it is pilot, where pilot sit and fly.
This one is called cockpit.
Yeah.
Okay.
This H is where fuel where fuel hits, and here is engine. Also engine. Yes. Although these 2 is wings.
They are wings. Okay, thank you.
As you see in this,
Very nice.
as you see in this slide, it is a supersonic plane that will be built in the future. The date of production of this plane is 2050. This supersonic plane will fly by hydrogen tank, and this will be counted as a new technology of air transportation. Here, as you see, it's a picture of the airlines of this new supersonic plane, and as you see, the time of flight will be more shorter than of the usual plane.
So we can see that from London to Sydney we can use less time, right? From New York and to Paris it's just 1 hour instead of, for example, 4 hours, 5 hours. Or
Instead
12
of
hours.
1 day.
Okay.
There are applications of supersonic plane, and it is for transportation and for military purposes.
Okay. Is it business class? Is it
Yes.
business class?
This one.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So we talked about transport and we talked about technologies of transport we use nowadays. Now let's take a look at future transport. Learners watch the video on future transport 10 inventions that will supercharge your journey. And they answer the questions using the key meanings, using the vocabulary from matching activity. So here you can see the questions. What types of transport have wheels? In short, explain the work one of them. Can we use organic transport ELF in Britain? Why and why not? Which of the inventions of transport can fly? Is it dangerous to use all these inventions? Why and why not? Let's take a look at this particular video.
Cars might be getting smarter, but the basic concept remains the same. Even when or even if they eventually manage to drive themselves, a car will still look fundamentally like a car. You can't say the same about an electric unicycle, a flying bike or a skateboard with square wheels though. Here are 10 inventions that will supercharge your trip from A to B and get you some odd stares in the process. The Rhino is sleek and simple while evoking a deep-seated yearning for a more progressive future, the manufacturer says. It's half a motorbike, we say. This rather odd-looking Segway motorcycle mashup is yours for $5,295 American dollars, or roughly £3,200. It can whiz you around up to 10 miles an hour while carrying up to 260 pounds of cargo. The Fly-Cly adds an ultra-thin electric motor and intelligent electronics to a normal bike wheel to give you that extra leg up when getting up hills. Best of all, it doubles as a security device for your wheels, letting you track and even remotely lock it if your bike gets nicked. Now, there's thinking outside the box, and then there's thinking so far outside the box that you can't remember where you left it or what the box looked like. We think Shark Wheels falls into the latter category, kicking back against the tyranny of circular wheels. It turns out these square-looking, but not actually square wheels, grip better in wet conditions, handle soft surfaces with ease, and slide more easily. Yes, this one looks a bit like someone's nailed a car tyre to a girder, but at the moment at least, the one wheel is the closest thing we have to Back to the Future hoverboards, balancing and powering itself with a combination of direct drive hub motor, inertia sensors, and some very clever software. We can see why the first bunch of Kickstarter orders have already sold out. It'll cost you just shy of $5,000 in the US, but this solar-powered tricycle is capable of 30 miles an hour and a range of just over 14 miles. That's in sunny California though. We reckon British weather and landscape would kill the battery much more quickly. Hovertrack inventor Shane Chen has a track record when it comes to personal mobility. He's also got the solo wheel electric wheel and hydro glider electric surfboard under his belt. The Hovertrack is basically like a Segway boiled down to the bare essentials. They'll meet 2 balancing wheels you control with your feet. Our choice of vehicle says a lot about us, and choosing an Igo says, look at me, I'm driving a chemical toilet. Yes, the thing looks terrible, which is a shame because it's actually rather clever. This self-balancing vehicle is good for 19 miles at 13 miles an hour with absolutely 0 emissions. Honda isn't messing about here. The U3X Easy Rider comes from the same place as its robots, which the company hopes can address some of the issues facing a rapidly aging population. You won't see a shipping version anytime soon, but it's likely to influence future personal mobility transportation, for example, self-powered wheelchairs. We've been promised flying cars for decades, and B finally delivers on that promise. There's only one catch: it's too small for humans, and by too small, we mean it's a toy. This RC car copter has rotors in its wheels and is just as happy in the air as it is on the ground. For actual transportation though, it'll have to get a whole lot bigger, or we humans will just have to get a whole lot smaller. Ever wished your bike had 6 massive propellers on it? No, us neither. But Czech firms Duratec, Technodat and Evector have teamed up to create just that. It's purely a prototype for now, which is reassuring, because it means nobody is likely to decapitate us during an afternoon bike ride anytime soon.
And here you can see the possible answers. What types of transport have wheels? All of them have wheels. Can we use organic transit ELF in Britain? Why and why not? We cannot. The reason is weather. Which of the inventions of transport can fly? B. And Jan Laska's flying bike. Is it dangerous to use all these transport inventions? Yes, of course, it's very dangerous. And right now we'll take a look and watch the video with this activity.
So, the first question, what types of transport have wheels?
One wheel, flyby,
Also
sharp wheel, one wheel.
all of them?
Yes.
Yes, all of them, completely right. So, in short, explain the work one of them. In short, explain the work one of them.
For example, flyby. It has all wheels, and there is one wheel, and it has security devices.
Yeah.
In order to you can leave it inside somewhere, yes.
Outside.
And you can control it by your phone or etc.
Okay, thank you. So, can we use organic transit ELF in Britain? Why and why not?
Because of the weather.
Because of the weather, okay. And in general, can we use it somewhere else?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because it uses solar light.
Solar.
That's
Okay. Can
sunlight.
we use it in Los Angeles?
In my opinion, we can't use it in Los Angeles
Why?
because in Los Angeles there are wide streets for pedestrians, and in my opinion, such kind of organic transport can be driven in the streets. And
Okay, you mean harmful health,
yes.
right? Okay. Okay, thank you. So, which of the inventions of the transport can fly? Yeah. Which of these inventions? You remember? Have you remembered?
There was
The last one.
it's called B.
B. Okay. And what's about Howard track? Howard track. Do you remember? The flying toy. Yeah.
Yes.
The flying toy. Okay. Is it dangerous to use all these inventions at the end of the video?
Yes.
You see, we saw this one, right? Is it dangerous or not? Is it
I
dangerous?
think only some of them are dangerous.
This activity helped them to develop their listening skills, and for developing their speaking skills, we use such kind of tasks. You can see the task here. Learners brainstorm the ideas of the topic mobility due to improved transport and communication. Learners are divided into two groups, A and D, advantages and disadvantages, and have debate on the following statement. Today, people in many countries can live and work anywhere they choose because of improved transport and because of improved communication technology and transport. Do the advantages of this phenomenon outweigh its disadvantages? And now we'll watch the video on this activity.
Please, choose one card. You choose one card. Any card. Okay. Choose one card. Any card. One card. One card. Okay. One card. So, choose one card, please. So, here you have got A and D. So please, all the students with letter A sit right here. All the students with letter D sit right here. You are given such kind of topic. Mobility due to improved transport and communication. Please, read this one. As you have got D, have you got D?
Yes.
It means that you should say about disadvantages, yes. And you should say about advantages of this topic. So, also in your speech, do not forget to use these words, okay? In the topic. So, the topic is mobility due to improved transport and communication. Today, people in many countries can live and work anywhere they choose because of improved communication technology and transport. Do the advantages of this phenomenon or outweigh its disadvantages? So you should think about advantages and you should think about disadvantages. Transport.
Transportation and new
Yes. So while the transport developing, what do we have? Development of what? Communication. Yes. About this one. It's one of one of the
transport
You may make list of this one. We may discuss.
where technology is improved, people will change to that vision.
And there is some disease which spread quickly.
Use petrol, there may also need.
Improve communication technology, but also after that. Maybe humans affect also maybe also because we have
We'll use transport.
No, we'll move supersonic waves.
They will not use bicycles.
Some of these underground
By
trains,
using
they don't like use airplanes, but if they use airplanes,
from one move every day, every time.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Your time is up. Stand up and come here.
Improved transport improves communication, and it's our first argument.
An argument. Okay. Your statement and argument.
We think that as technology develops, there might be some the number of car crashes and other accidents may increase,
Okay.
which may lead to bad consequences.
Consequences. Okay. Your advantage. Your advantage.
Another advantage as the transportation develops is the increase use of alternative energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yours?
as you said, that it improves the communication and also it increases the spreading of some disease.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. So your
Advantage is will develop in tourism.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because improved transport it's help to people moving.
It helps people move. Okay. And have you got?
Yes.
One more argument?
And also, we have course urbanization that which is the consequence can be many problems, issues like air pollution.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm. You're completely right. And yours?
About faster transportation.
Mm-hmm.
We want to create new technology or new transport
Mm-hmm.
for people.
New technology and new transport for people. And your argument? Have you got it?
Yes, new technology and new some devices can influence for your health and
Yeah.
that way, like other, for example,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For example, we discussed about supersonic planes, about high-speed trains, and this kind of transports helps to feel comfortable in this transport
Mhm.
because you can't hear any sound from inside, noises, yes,
Noises.
and also it's you feel really good yourself for passengers.
Disadvantage? Yes, sure.
There may be illegal transactions using
Legal.
this illegal
Yeah.
transactions using these technologies.
Yeah, why not? Okay, and if you have such kind of opportunity to say about advantages,
It can
what will you say?
save time,
Saving
our
time. So now let's move to another task. Learners work in pairs and they should answer the questions. Remember your partner's answers. How difficult is it to find parking spaces in cities? Which 9 habits of other drivers annoy you the most and why? Do you think that motor racing, for example, Formula 1 and so on, encourages people to drive faster? Why and why not? Would you like to fly on hot air balloon? Why and why not? What are the advantages and disadvantages of traveling by underground, traveling by tube? What types of transport do you think will become more important
important in the future. So, learners ask and answer the questions in pairs and remember their partner's answer. After asking each other questions, learners report on the answers of their partners.
Let's start discussing this question. You ask him the first question, he asks you the second question, then the third, and one by one. Okay?
So you know that the parking places is
Maybe rising places. As you know that the number of cars increasing every day. It means
Drivers use the driving without, and also when they use mobile phones, when they are driving car, because it may cause some car crashes, some accidents, so encouraging people to drive such habits are What about motor racing? Do you think that motor racing items
they increase the adrenaline in our blood, and you are really feel yourself that you are the greatest person in the world, and you can feel the freedom when you are driving. And maybe this kind of competitions may cause some kind of disadvantages, because during competition you can ride faster, but in real life you cannot do that. And maybe as you said, as you mentioned about it may lead to the car crashes.
So, Nazar, tell us please, what can you say about Rabia, about her answers? The most annoying habits? Or how difficult is finding a parking space in the cities?
Yes,
According to her answers.
according to Rabia, she thinks that it is usually difficult to find parking spaces in large cities, like in megapolis cities, like Almaty and other cities, other big cities.
And here?
In Tallinn?
Yeah.
Usually
It's gradually increasing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, we have nowadays enough space.
Okay, thank you. Do you think that motor racing encourages people to drive faster? So, who answered this question? Who answered this question? From your pair. And you answered this question. So, according to Arai, tell us please your opinion.
She said that these motor races encourage people to drive faster as they want to feel the speed.
Speed. Okay, people like speed. That is right. How difficult is it to find parking space in the city? Okay. And right now, please tell us your opinion, both of you. Do you have the same opinion or not?
Yes.
The same.
And then the same as Rabia.
Okay. So thank you. So, which annoying habits of other drivers annoy you the most in your opinion?
When drivers smoke and
And do you think the same?
Yes, and also when they ask questions.
About what?
Because you sometimes also when you use taxi, they want to get more money and they get other people.
Yeah.
And in that case, we feel ourselves not so comfortable.
Okay.
So this stage, learners reflect on what they've done during the lesson, and they reflect on what they have learned from this series of lessons and their answers. We adapt the material from different resources and use subject-specific vocabulary to deal with this problem. We consulted our teachers of English and physics. We have learned terms of physics. It was very interesting to know a lot about modern and future transport. So, the objectives of the lesson were covered. All the resources you can find right here. Follow these references, links, and also all the materials can be found right here if you follow this link. So, thank you for attention.